Crecia with Project Glamour Geeks, and come get ready with me into cosplay as I introduce myself. So today we're going to get into my female debut for My Hero Academia as I talk about what got me into cosplay and my experience with cosplaying. So I started back in 2016. I know, kind of late bloomer, but I don't know, I've just always been attracted to the idea of dressing up. So obviously with that information, you know, Halloween was my favorite holiday. Like, you name it, I would dress up every year. So what finally kind of got me into cosplaying was I saw a group that advertised a Sailor Moon gathering. I love Sailor Moon. I grew up on Sailor Moon. I would fight my brothers to watch Sailor Moon. So needless to say, to find a group that kind of catered to that and have other people who enjoyed the same thing as me, you know, I was always there, like, let's go. At the time, I was still kind of self-conscious about cosplaying because I think the reason I got into it so late was I always had the idea that I could only cosplay certain characters. And needless to say, sometimes there's not a lot of darker skinned anime characters. So I thought, like, well, if I'm not lighter skinned, I can't cosplay that character. Never believe that. If anybody tells you that you can't cosplay someone because of your gender, your sex, your weight, your skin tone, whatever, tell them to kick rocks. It's no bueno. That's not the thing. So once I got over that, I was still a little self-conscious, so I did not like cosplay Sailor Moon like I wanted. That is the ultimate goal. But what I did was a side character. I did Sailor Mars, but I had a little twist with the Sailor Mars. I did a punk rock version of Sailor Mars. What I did with that was I found a whole bunch of fan art pictures and other ideas of how people cosplayed their version of punk rock Sailor Mars, but I couldn't make up my mind on how to do it. So you know what I did the next best thing? I asked my students to pick my outfit for me. So the students I work with got to pick actually my first cosplay. And so I went to my very first convention, which was Fanime. Now, for anybody who's been to Fanime in San Jose, they know how big that convention is. I didn't know. I was not prepared for it. Even though I've had friends, they're like, okay, make sure you get the water, make sure you have this. And I'm like, yeah, it's not that. When someone who's been to experience, who had the experience going to con tell you to bring that stuff, do it. So yeah, Fanime was huge, but I was like a kid in a candy shop. It was like, oh, I was so super excited. There was cosplays everywhere. There was hecka events, panels, the black and white ball, the masquerade. Like, it was wonderful, you know, and I saw a lot of people cosplaying characters I enjoy watching from the anime or TV shows. So since then, I was hooked. So now every year for Fanime, I get a new costume. I always introduce a new costume because I feel that's like my coming out into cosplay. Some of the costumes I've done a steampunk Riddler. That's how I met Sarah. She took my fabulous pictures, and ever since then she's been stuck with me. She can't get rid of me. I also done Princess Tiana from Princess and the Frog. I have also done Dr. Facilier from Princess and the Frog. I've done a Weeping Angel, I'm having a brain fart. Hellboy. I've done Spawn. I've done Michonne from Walking Dead. And then, of course, my female Deku. And then recently I did, I'm going to mess it up, Dory Mahami from Black Panthers. So, yeah, I've been cosplaying for, like I said, the past 5 years. And it's just been one great experience for me. I know a lot of people have backlashes from cosplay, especially being a Black cosplayer, well, a Black plus size cosplayer. And honestly, I have to say the community has been just so welcoming towards me, and like, I've had friends and other people be my biggest cheerleaders when I've been so self-conscious about cosplaying certain characters because I didn't have that body type. And once again, that's not what cosplay is about. Cosplay is about you enjoy it, you do it, share it with like minds, have fun. You know, I think the day you stop having fun with something is, it's sad. You know, you should never let anybody take that joy away from you. So with that, I started going to more conventions and meeting more people and doing more groups. I think I even at one point got to do a princess group that we made up and did the Wreck-It Ralph pajama one. So that was really, really great. And I had fun with that. I met some great people. I've learned a lot of new things from those people. Because like I said, the great thing about cosplaying was it made me get back into sewing. I make a lot of my cosplays because, like I said, once again, sometimes the downside of cosplaying is when you go to shops, if they don't have that size for you, you have to make your own, which is fine because you get to custom make it to you. So that was really, really fun and sometimes traumatizing. There's been many of nights that any cosplayer can tell you it is the night before con, and guess what? We are still sewing, we are still crafting, we are still putting our cosplay together to make sure it is ready for that con. I would tell anybody who gets into cosplaying is just do it because you love it. You'll meet great people, great experience. They'll teach you new things, and then you'll have real much great fun at conventions. So I guess what really kind of got me into cosplay, other than like dressing up, was I loved some of the characters that I've seen on TV or even in animes that I feel sometimes I can relate to, or it's just like I feel they're the underdog and it'd be super fun to cosplay them. Prime example, my Hellboy. Love the movie, love the concept of it. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to be Hellboy. And that was the first time I've ever kind of started to craft stuff. So sewing wasn't that bad. Crafting is a whole nother ball game for me. I actually made the hand of doom, the right hand of doom. That was fun. I used like bed foaming and a tube and a hockey glove and taped it together. And then I would have to say that cosplay was like trial and error, because little did I know when you're using like bedding foam or like the squishy foam, you can't really spray paint it or like paint it, because if you paint it, it just absorbs the liquid. If you spray paint it, it might dissolve the foam. So I'm like, someone help me, I messed up. But that one I kind of got to play around with. So the solution to that was working with fabric spray paint, and boy, did that work. Then another one was tricks I did with the horn. So I've never worked with prosthetics before, and I'm like, it has the horns, I don't know what to do. So I've learned from someone in a group I was with that you use sponge. You know, the little yellow and green sponge? Use that, cut out the shape, and spirit gum. Bam, the best. And like I said, it really had a very good turnout. But I am going to go revisit that and redo that, because reason being is I feel when you cosplay something, like I said, as I said before, you learned along the ways, what can work with it and what cannot work with it. So when I did the right hand of doom, I did a structure, or I had it kind of built around a circle cylinder so I could slip my arm in. Not bad and whatnot, but in doing so, I didn't calculate the bulk of what my jacket would be and how long it will cut off circulation when I wear it too long around my arm. So now I want to go back and redo it so I can make it better, because I missed that one. That was a fun one to do, you know. Another thing about cosplaying is not all the time everything is going to come out the way you want it to come out. I don't know how many times I have started on my makeup only to end up hating it. And guess what we did? We wiped it off and restarted over again. Or there's been many times where when I was making an outfit, it wasn't coming out the way it was supposed to. And actually, totally side note, startlingly, I forgot to do my brows, which I'm still learning. And it's just like, it's a trial and error. I don't know how many times I have remade my Princess Tiana. So far it's like 3 stages. So when I very first made my Princess Tiana, I went to my friend and roommate. I was like, can you help me? They're sewing. They sew and craft like I do. And so my very first time doing the Princess Tiana, I kid you not, it was just a bunch of tulle that I gathered into a tutu. And we took a pattern that looked like an apron and a two-top. That was my very first ever Princess Tiana. But what was great was a lot of people still realized who I was. So that was great. But then I was like, you know what? I wanted something better. So I went back, revamped it. I took the tulle out and substituted for fabric, which was about 6 yards. So I'm gonna come back to what I had to do for that. 6 to 7 yards. And then did a whole different layout more for leaves. Then by the third time, we revamped it again, and I had the help of one of my other friends. And reason being for this was I didn't calculate how long I had the skirt. So the skirt was super long. And I remember one time I went to the black and white ball in my Princess Tiana, and the dress was so long that we both were stepping on the dress and almost slipping and falling. So I was like, yeah, we should hem that. But that was like 7 to 8 yards of hemming I had to do on already circle skirt. So that was crazy in itself. But it just shows that no matter what, you can always get better with time. There's no right or wrong way to really cosplay. Some people feel that if you buy your cosplay, you're not a cosplayer. No, that's not true. Some people feel that if you don't make it and have someone else make it, not true. Some people feel that if you don't look exactly like the person, you're not cosplaying. You do however you want. So all my friends who know I cosplay, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bad influence. I try to get them to cosplay with me. I'm like, you should do it with me. But some of them have the same hiccups that I had about it, about cosplaying. And that was, oh, I can't because of this, and I can't, and I'd be their biggest hype man myself. Kind of got a little fallout there. I'm the biggest hype man for them because, once again, I want people to join the community how I was and how I had all the support from that, you know? So I tell them, no matter what, if I have to help you cosplay, you're going to do it. And honestly, I would say anybody who wants to get into cosplay, do it. But if budget is a issue, then do something what's called cosplay. And that's literally you dig in your cosplay and use something casual. I don't know how many times I casual cosplay Deku, or I did Uraraka, and it's just me in normal clothes and you just have a similar makeup to it. So wish me luck. I always pray to the eyeline gods when I do my eyeliner, because we're hoping for twins. We will settle for cousins, you know? But yeah, so I always try to hype other people up into getting into cosplay as well, because A, it's fun, and B, I have more people to play around with. Okay, so, but other than that, I think my whole goal with cosplaying is, I hope, A, to get better at it, especially sewing, but my next step, I want to learn how to do armor or work with EDA foam. I did it one time and I had a battle scar from that. I was doing my spawn and I was working on the knee part of it. So in case you don't know, when you're working with EDA foam, a great thing to do is have a heat gun. You heat it up and you can mold it to what shape you need or to hold that shape. So of course I did it, unplugged, and set it off to the side. And I'm working on the foam. When I was done, I went to put my arm down and I hit the heating gun that was still hot. When I tell you I have a battle scar, I had a battle scar. But it's great. I love it, and for me, I think one of the best parts is seeing how the kids respond to you. Because in their mind, you're that character. You are Princess Tiana. You are Deku. You are that character, and it's nothing but, like, it warms your heart when they want to take pictures of you and they see you as that person. Which kind of goes back to one funny story I have to say is one time I was cosplaying my Princess Tiana, cute little girl, total guilt tripped me. I was at a con and I was booking and I was heading over to get an autograph, a voice actor autograph, and it was like the last day. The whole entire con, they were sold out. Like, she would sell out of getting her autograph. So I'm like, I'm gonna do it, wake up early, and I'm jetting. So a lot of times you don't realize you're that character. So they may not know you and you don't respond when someone's saying, oh, da da da. So what was happening, I'm booking it over, and in the fair background, I'm hearing Tiana, Tiana. And it didn't register that they were talking to me. I was Tiana. And when I finally did, I stopped and I turned, and there's this mom with a stroller booking it towards me with the little girl in there. She's like 2, and she's calling out to me, Tiana, Tiana. And then the hitter was, she's like, why didn't you stop? I was calling to you. I'm like, oh, hit right in the heart. So I stopped. And of course I'm like, hi. She's like, didn't you hear me? I was calling out to you and you wouldn't stop. And I'm like, you're putting it on thick, kid, but I understand. And a lot of time it is, like I said, you're that person's hero. And I loved it, even though, like, I would always stop for kids. I would, because you're their hero who, needless, you be Spider-Man, Princess Tiana, Jasmine, whoever. So I love it. And it's just like, I've had some really cute pictures and met some really cool people from that. Also, another thing that I liked about cosplay is it really forces you, I guess, kind of out of your comfort zone for some things, and you can always improve something. So, like, I've never been into makeup that much, but if you look at my makeup collection, you would be fooled. You would think, really? I have a lot of palettes. I do. And I love looking at pictures from before, when I very first started cosplaying, to now, and how far I came makeup wise. It's just like anything when you're sewing or you're trying to learn, it's trial and error, because not one shoe fits all when you're doing your makeup or when you're doing cosplay. So it's been a wonderful and great experience working with makeup, and just kind of boosting up my own self-conscious or self-esteem about doing my makeup and just being me. And I think that's the biggest growth I've had with cosplay, is it has built up my self-confidence a lot. Before, it was like, I always thought, I can't do this. I can't be that character. I can't do that because she's skinny and I'm plus size. I can't do that because she may be lighter than me. No, it didn't. I turned that character for me and who I wanted that character to be. Best way I can describe it was, all my characters, majority of my characters are male characters, but I have changed them where it suits me. Like I said, I've done Spawn, female Spawn. I've done Hellboy, female. I've done my steampunk Riddler, female. I've done Two-Face, female. I've always done it where it suits me and what I feel comfortable and good in. And that is all that matters for cosplay. If you feel comfortable just wearing the wig, basic makeup, and the clothes, guess what? You're cosplaying, you know? Also, another thing that I enjoy really much about cosplaying is you get to meet new people. You talk to people who you never would have thought you would meet. You get people from all walks of life. And it's a great conversation starter, especially when people see pictures or, my example, I work with kids. So that is something I tell my students. I'm a cosplayer. I'm one of the biggest geeks you'll ever meet. And they get super stoked about it because now we have that connection where we're talking about anime, and they've introduced me to other animes, and it's like, it's all around. You meet wonderful people who can just get you out of your box and you can just explore. And that's what I really enjoy about the cosplay community. They're so welcoming, and even though here and there you may have your one or two naysayers, majority of the community is very, very welcoming and supportive. And I tell anybody, do it. It is great. It is fun. And I want to continue doing it. I've had many great ideas about future cosplays, even one so where it's great because I get very passionate about talking about it. And because of cosplay, like I said, I got to do something that I thought I couldn't. So I want to give that same message to anybody I meet, be it students I work with, people I may meet at cons, or just a normal conversation out in public. And it was crazy because what happened was, with one of my students, I talked with her and we talk about anime, we talk about cosplay, we talk about her art and drawing, but she got very discouraged about it. So I was like, do it. You can draw. It gets better with time. I don't care. And I always hyped her up like I was hyped up with cosplay. And it's great because now what she did is she drew me in my favorite animes as characters. And it was great because it was, who doesn't like fan art of themselves? We're going to switch pens because this one's not working for the freckles. We may have to change this up. So, case in point, one of my liners is not working. I can't find my other one, so I'm gonna switch up my Deku up a little. And that's the great thing about cosplaying, is you don't have to stick to the actual layout of it, because not everything works. You may lose stuff. So our freckles for Deku today is going to be hearts. We're gonna have heart freckles. But with the student, like I said, she drew me. It was great. And so now she drew me as a superhero from My Hero Academia with superpowers and everything. So I was like, you know what? I am going to cosplay that character, you know, just for her. So she can see, I appreciate her drawing me, and then like we have that connection, you know? Ooh. Yeah. And just a few more little, we'll do some across the nose. So, not bad. Kind of like it. We might have to touch it up a little. There we go. So, my Deku has heart freckles right now. And pat that out. But yeah, I think it's a great, perfect. I think cosplaying is very great, and regardless of how it turns out, enjoy yourself. So I'm going to stop right now and change into my outfit, and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I did apply my lipstick off stage and I got into my cosplay, but this is my normal look, other than a different way about the hearts. Don't know how I feel about it. I don't know if I'll do it again for this particular cosplay, but it does give me a great idea for other future cosplays and other makeup looks. But thank you so much for joining me at Project Makeup Geeks.